So here the first tab, as I mentioned, we have different types of static testing. Let's go to the first page, which is we have the review and static analysis. So the first one, which is review. So review, actually, as we say, okay, from the words review, actually it's just okay, try to overview something, try to investigate something. So what this is can be any the dimension here is artifacts. So this one can any artifacts, for example, the code, or can be also can be the code, or can any document, for example, the plan or another things. So here, as mentioned, the review is some overview something, or survey something, or look back to something. So we have different types of review, which is informal review, walkthrough review, and then technical review and inspection. So based on that, you see from this type of review, you can see it's review not only the code, so we can review either some planning, some specification, so all this can be review. So guys, first, before we start here, I prepared something because this slide as a summary, because we have 3 slides, so you need to go for that 3 slides. So just this is the one slide, it will summarize the next 3 slides. So here, guys, when we are talking about the review, we have rules. That means we have because when we talk about review, we are talking about meetings, review any documents. So that's why we have some rules. Means we have different type of person in that meeting, for example. So that's here we have, for example, the manager, which is the manager of that project, which is just execute of the reviews just so the time. So he takes some decision, which is we can say is the high level person. So here the moderators, when we have a meeting for that review, that's why now maybe you will start know what's my review. Okay, when we have a meeting, so we have someone to manage or to lead that meeting. So this guy is moderators. And the authors who's the writer of that document. So if we are talking about the code, so he's the programmers. The author is the person that's write the document. So reviewers is the guy or the person who will review that document. And the last one is the scriber, I think is missing R. The scriber is the one he will record the points in that documents. So anything in that meeting, if anything need to be recorded, and then for follow up later. So this guy is the scriber. So this is just okay. In the next slide, in details, you will find the job or the task of each one. So here, as I mentioned, we have 4 type of review testing, which is the first one is informal review, walkthrough, technical review, and inspection. I think we have to go for those quickly. So informal review, guys, it's, if you remember last time when we talked about one model, which is the I think is extreme programming. So in that one, we talk about something, okay, there is a need for review the paper or bare programmers, right? So in that one, we talk about, oh, there is a review here. So this is the same things here. It can be, for example, that one is example of this type of review. So someone, it can review your works. Even it's okay, can your made, but that's what is not formal, just someone, it's you maybe you work with him, and then, okay, after you program something, okay, you can give him to review your works. So this is doesn't need any documentation, just friendly process. Okay, this is the informal review, and this is an example of extreme programming or bare programming. So this is also is kind of review, okay, informal review. So there is no rules for this. The first type of informal review or this informal review is just anyone he can can review the paper from the team or outside the team. So walk through review. So here we have also the person it can be meeting also, but it's not compulsory the meeting. But okay, we can, let's say it's a meeting. So it's a meeting, and the author will present documents. The author will present the document. Okay, this is the main point. So okay, the purpose similar to others. Okay, find more defects, also learning and gaining understanding. So most of the purpose is same, which just is defects more, find more defects. But one thing, guys, if you see here, based on this, no, okay, what we can see here from here is, you see here the informal methods. The first one, it's me right here. So the first one is informal methods. And if we go to the last one, which is the inspections. So this is the most formal one. So what the difference now between them? It's the level of formality, the level of the formality. So when we say about the first one, which is informal, that means your team or any member of the team. Okay, just someone review your paper after you finish that job. So you give him to review your paper. Even sometimes it's just that guy can work with you in the same job. I mean, in the same task. For example, both of you have the task of developing this model. So he work with you. That means he will review your works also. So if you go a little bit is work through. So this is, as we see, is a more formal than informal review. See, we have a meeting, and someone will present the work, which is the author itself. That's why we say it's less formality here, but it's not that's inspection, for example, but it's not like the informal. But here we have someone will present, and the other people will listen to that guy. So here the meeting, if we talk about the meeting here during the examination, the author will take over the role of moderators. So there is no moderators, but will not be the scribers. So the review here with Bear and Maniger and flying teams. So the review also will be with other people. The author will review his paper or his work to other people, while that one will not review just with one member, one college from his team. So here are some disadvantage of these methods, which is the walkthrough. This is, as we see here, the author will present the work. So once the author is present the work, so maybe there is some critical issue, it will not be presented in this walkthrough review. And this type of review, it's suitable for small project. Okay, small projects, not for big project. So if you go now for more formality, so we have here the technician review. Technician review, we can say it's okay meeting, but here with technician expert. So here the audience will be experts or their expert from your team also. So the same purpose is to gain or to detect small fault or more defect, as we see here. In static analysis or in static testing, we talk about defects. We don't talk about failure. In the dynamic, we talk about failure. So as I mentioned here, the reviewer should be a technician bear or expert, as I mentioned. Also, they should prepare for that review. For example, before the meeting, before they come, they should distribute the document. After that, they should this reviewer should prepare for the meeting. Not like, for example, the first one, which is the informal, just you are working with someone. So while he works, he can review your work. He can notice some defect. So here we have also some rules. Ideally is lead by training, but not the authors. Scriber is mandatory. Ideally is not also the authors. They have a checklist. Review meeting is also, it can be also optional. Also here we have the write some logs and review reports. So the last one, I think, yes, only the last one. The last one is the inspections. Inspection actually is more formal, or we can say the most formal review. And here each person have rules. Each person is take rules, and they have the all rules here. It can be there. For example, we have the moderators, we have the scribe, we have the author or the writer. So all the defect or all the rules it's here, it should be included, and the meeting here is also is compulsory. So the purpose is the same. The purpose of the meeting is the same. Just detect more defects, also evaluating the works, also building the confidence, also motivating the author to improve the works. So here in the meeting, follow defined process with the formal document output. So here it's more formal process, more formal process. So just everyone has his role, and then they have also the role is specific for each one, and each one he will do his role, not like something, okay, like a meeting, normal meeting, and then we discuss what we have. No, we have checklist, and then we have the rules for each person, and we have also the output and the input of these. Everything is identified before the meeting. So this is the last or the most formal way of review. So here in general, we have in this type, which is in the last one, the inspection, or also in the another one, which is it's you can say is formal review, not informal review. So we have, for example, is just some step. The first one is the normal one, which is planning. So planning for the meeting, and then kick-off meeting. So in kick-off meeting, actually just is an optional meeting also to ask or to distribute the rules of all members. And this is optional, and the main goal of this phase is to get everybody on the same page. That means at least, okay, they know what they have to do, what they have to review. Okay, so this is normal meeting. It can be optional, and then after that we should prepare for individual preparations. So everybody prepare before the meeting. This is we're talking about the formal meeting. Okay, and then review meeting. After that, rework. After that, follow up the output of this meeting. So it's just normal step for any formal meeting or formal review. So here, as I mentioned, the difference between these types, this type is actually is the informality, or the level of the informality, or the degree of the informality. So it's the lowest one, which is the informal, and then go until the inspection, which is the highest level of formality, the highest level of the formality. Okay, this is the summary, as we see. Okay, maybe later you come back to this slide, because actually we have a lot of things. We have a lot of topics. It's easy. All the topics is easy. That's why it's I put it all here. So guys, this is a question. What do we review? So we talk about review. So what do we review? Example, guys. Hello.
Well, customer specification.
Specification, yes. Okay. What else? Of course, the document, we can review the document. I mean, the code also can be reviewed. Code can be reviewed. For example, after you review the code, maybe you find small things. For example, it was if you write, for example, it's greater than, should be greater than or equal. For example, something is the author or the programmers maybe will not notice. This is make big issue or big difference. So here, guys, is the list of documents that can be reviewed. The plan, this also the test scenario, test templates, test cases, test data. So guys, maybe you already talk about some of these. The test plan, the test scenario, we talk about it also. Test cases, if you remember, we talk about something. Test cases and test condition. So the condition also can be the scenario itself. Test data, you know what I mean? Test data, that means the input that should be used for the testing. Also the reports, different type of reports in testing. So this is the type of documents that can be reviewed. So, okay, guys, as I mentioned, we need also some time to review the document. What's the code? So here, guys, I give you example. See, review the following source code. Okay, we have here the source code. If the first, so here, guys, we have what we have. Okay, we have the first application or first code in the left side, which is code to count the positive element in array. So positive element in array, that means what?
Well, so it in this if xi greater or equal to 0, that's
yes.
wrong. It shall be only greater than.
Yes, should be great. This is also okay. You just maybe the programmers, which is maybe your mate or your colleague in the team. So he will not notice that, oh, this is will cause a mistake or will cause a failure, because as we say, you should define well what's mean positive. Positive means only greater than 0, not include the 0, or base. Sometimes if maybe they would define the positive mean also include the 0, so it will be include the 0. So in the other side, which is also another software or another program here, last find last. Okay, find last. Sorry guys, I will use find last
index of 0. Yeah.
Again?
Well, this logic will find the first index of 0 instead of last.
Yes. It's actually it will the index from 0. He will start of 0. But I mean, they will start from 0. That's why maybe it was okay. The expected here, if we see the last 0, it should be 2. But based on this code, the last index will be 1, right? So this is just maybe also small, just the index. Maybe if not, we cannot start it from 0, from 1, but maybe the output should be indicate or as expected. For example, we wanted 2. That means we should be +1, for example. But we have to start from 0 because this is the array in Java or in C. So this is, as we say, guys, is small defects, and also can be detected easily, not that difficult. So Wozeng review can detect this defect. Here is where's the errors. Here's where's the errors.